Welcome to Zhihu Frontier Weekly, your window into the hottest AI discussions from China's knowledge platform. So here's a curated snapshot of the hottest AI discussions. It feels like the entire conversation around AI just shifted gear this week. We've been so focused on these giant cloud models who has the biggest, the smartest, the best at writing poems, but now it seems like the real action is moving somewhere else entirely.
That's the perfect way to put it, Mia. The whole game is changing. It's less about these abstract models in the cloud and more about a new battleground emerging. AI agents, devices you can actually hold in your hand, and the ecosystems that connect them all.
Exactly. And nothing seems to capture this shift better than the latest update from DeepSeek. Their V3.2 model isn't just a small step up. People are saying it's pushing into what they call GPT-5 territory in terms of reasoning. And the crazy part? They're offering it at a shockingly low price, something like 3 RMB, which is less than 50 cents per million tokens. This feels like more than just a performance boost.
It absolutely is. This upgrade isn't just about raw power. It represents a fundamental move from models that answer to models that operate. The ability for the model to reason during times tool calls, rather than just delivering a static response, is a game changer. This means AI is becoming less of a fancy search engine and more of a co-pilot that can actively engage with complex, multi-step tasks. It's a significant leap towards truly intelligent agents.
Okay, you've got to break that down for me. You said reasoning times during times tool calls. That sounds technical, but important. What does that actually look like in practice? How does that change the kind of problems an AI can solve?
Right. Think of it this way. Before you might ask an AI, what's the weather in New York and can you book me a flight there? The AI would have to do those things in separate steps. It would look up the weather, give you the answer, and then you'd have to start a new conversation to book the flight. Now, a model like DeepSeek V3.2 can be given the entire task, and it can reason through it. It can check the weather, see it's raining, and then asterisk while times it's searching for flights. It might also check for indoor activities in New York for you, all within one continuous process. It's operating a workflow, not just answering a series of questions. It's like the difference between a research assistant and an executive assistant.
I see. So the AI is no longer just a passive book of knowledge. It's an active problem solver. But as they say, with great power comes great responsibility. If AI models are now operating and proactively taking on tasks, what are the new ethical and safety concerns? Are we prepared for AI systems that can independently initiate actions?
That's the billion-dollar question. The guardrails have to become infinitely more sophisticated. When an AI can book flights, access your calendar, and spend your money, a hallucination is no longer just a funny bit of incorrect text. It could be a flight to the wrong country or a meeting scheduled at 3 a.m. The developers behind this are focused on creating very clean, minimalistic interfaces. The DeepSeek API is praised for being elegant in this way so that developers can clearly define what the AI is and isn't allowed to do. But ultimately, the responsibility shifts. We're moving from policing what an AI times says times to policing what an AI times does asterisk.
From a developer's perspective, then, does this new paradigm change how you even think about building an app? Is it less about designing buttons and menus and more about designing a personality or a set of rules for an agent?
That's a great way to frame it. The design philosophy is shifting towards choreographing AI agents. You're giving the AI more autonomy, but within a very carefully constructed playground. You're not building an app with a weather button and a calendar button anymore. You're building an agent and telling it, you have access to a weather tool and a calendar tool. Here's the user's goal. Go figure it out. It's a much more dynamic and, frankly, more complex way to build software.
This transformation from passive responders to active operators really does highlight a profound evolution. It sets the stage for how AI will interact with the world, which leads us directly to the next major battleground, where these intelligent agents will live and how they'll shape our daily lives.
Exactly. And that's where things get even more interesting.
Right, because beyond the models themselves, we're seeing these intense strategic moves. For instance, OpenAI temporarily paused its ad buying, which is seen as a direct reaction to Google's Gemini surging in popularity. And at the exact same time, you have the ZTE and Doubao AI phones selling out in a single day. These feel like two very different stories, but you're saying they're part of the same war?
Absolutely, Mia. They're two fronts in the same war. This tells us the AI race isn't just about who has the smartest model anymore. It's about brand perception, ecosystem control, and embedding AI directly into our lives through hardware. OpenAI's move to pause ads shows how critical it is for them to maintain their aura of inevitability, that feeling that they are the default, the leader. When Gemini starts gaining brand recognition and traffic, that aura starts to crack.
That aura of inevitability is such a good phrase. So how much of this is really about who has the better tech versus who is better at marketing and controlling the story? I mean, there's even talk of companies overfitting on benchmarks, basically teaching to the test just to look good in public. What's the risk there?
The risk is huge. In the short term, winning the benchmark war keeps you in the headlines and maintains investor confidence. But if you overfit, if your model is a genius at specific tests but clumsy in the real world, users will eventually notice. The long-term risk is that you create a powerful but brittle AI. However, right now, perception is reality. For OpenAI, letting Google's nano banana tech, which is just their internal name for the new Gemini models, dominate the conversation is an existential threat. So they're reacting not just with tech, but with market strategy.
And on the other side of that coin, you have the hardware play. The ZTE phone, powered by ByteDance's Doubao AI, sold out instantly. This wasn't an iPhone or a Samsung. What does that tell you about what people actually want?
It tells me that consumers are hungry for a genuinely new experience. The analysis from inside China is spot on. ByteDance isn't trying to become a phone manufacturer. They are chasing ecosystem control. The vision is that the smartphone becomes just an edge node, a simple terminal, apps disappear, and the AI takes over. They're selling a ticket into the ByteDance AI world, and the phone is just the price of admission. It directly challenges incumbents like Apple and Google who control the App Store ecosystem.
That brings me to Li Auto, the car company, launching their own AI glasses. They're calling it a defensive offense. What does it mean for a car company to be creating its own AI entry point? Are we going to see every brand, from my fridge manufacturer to my running shoes, try to sell me their own AI-powered device?
I think we will. For Li Auto, it's about two things. Defensively, it reinforces their image as a tech company, not just a car company. Offensively, it captures what they call a high-frequency AI entry point. You might only interact with your car's AI while driving, but you wear your glasses all day. It's a way to keep their brand and their AI in front of you constantly. But here's the catch. They noted none of the capabilities in those glasses are exclusive to Li Auto. Anyone can build AI glasses.
This intense competition for brand, benchmarks, and ecosystems, especially with AI spreading to all these devices, raises some huge questions about the user experience. It forces us to confront what happens when AI becomes this ever-present force in our physical world.
It really does. This is where the rubber meets the road. We're on a new human AI frontier.
Let's talk about that frontier. The vision you described, apps disappear and AI takes over, sounds both incredibly convenient and slightly terrifying. We've spent decades learning to interact with our phones through a grid of icons. Is ditching that a future we actually want?
Well, it's seductive, isn't it? The promise of ultimate convenience where your device just knows times what you need. But it centralizes an immense amount of power and data. If a single AI agent manages your communication, your schedule, your shopping, the privacy implications are staggering. We're talking about a single point of failure, not just for security, but for your entire digital life. What happens if that AI has a bad day? Or if the company behind it changes its privacy policy?
That's a good point. On the other hand, navigating dozens of apps to get one simple thing done can be incredibly clunky. Is there a middle ground? A way to get the convenience without giving up all control and privacy?
I think that's the next great design challenge. Maybe it's not about one single AI taking over, but about our own personal AI that times we times control, which can then orchestrate all the different apps and services on our behalf. The key is agency. Who does the AI work for? Does it work for ByteDance Or does it work for you? The immediate sellout of the ZTE phone shows people are willing to experiment. But these questions about trust and control will ultimately decide if the apps disappear model succeeds.
It also brings up the issue of differentiation. If the AI in Li Auto's glasses isn't exclusive and ByteDance's image model is still behind competitors, what actually defines a great AI native device? Is this like how every car has a touchscreen now, but the software experience is what sets them apart?
That's the perfect analogy. The hardware, like a touchscreen or a pair of glasses, becomes a commodity. The real differentiator lies in the integration, the ecosystem, and the user experience. A cheap Android tablet and an iPad both have touchscreens, but the experience is worlds apart. For AI devices, the value won't be in just having AI. It will be in how well the AI understands your personal context, how seamlessly it integrates with your life, and crucially, how much you can trust it. The innovation isn't just the AI model, but the entire secure, personalized, and intuitive system built around it.
So we're moving from a world of competing features to a world of competing experiences and competing ecosystems. It's a profound change. Looking back at our conversation, a few things really stand out.
I agree. The first is clearly that fundamental shift in what AI is. It's moving from being a reactive encyclopedia to a proactive agent that can actually get things done. It's not just answering, it's operating.
Right? And because of that, the battleground has completely expanded. It's no longer just about who has the highest test scores. It's a fierce war for brand perception, strategic hardware, and locking users into an entire ecosystem.
And finally, that brings all of this to our doorstep. As AI moves into our phones, our glasses, our cars, it forces us to confront this new human AI frontier. We have to grapple with huge questions about privacy, how our daily habits will change, and what it even means for an experience to be AI native.
The rapid acceleration of AI, from abstract cloud models to intelligent agents embedded in our devices, is not merely a technological upgrade. It's a societal re-architecture in progress. As companies vie for control over these new ecosystems and interfaces, we are collectively navigating uncharted waters where convenience often clashes with privacy and innovation demands new ethical guardrails. The true challenge ahead isn't just building smarter AI, but thoughtfully integrating it into a human-centric future, ensuring that the promise of intelligent assistance doesn't inadvertently erode our autonomy or compromise our fundamental values. The questions we asked today about AI's capabilities, its strategic deployments, and its impact on our daily lives will define the very fabric of tomorrow's human-AI coexistence.